Hey everyone, Tony Leidig here. Welcome to Expert Media Show. This is session 4, and today we're going to talk about dream killers. I also want to share that today's sponsor is Success Mind Hack. This is a course I taught a while back on how to hack your success. One of the biggest problems that I've found with many people experiencing the success that they want is that their mindset gets in the way. In this training, I share some of the things that Kristen and I do and use to really help break through hesitations and pauses and those kinds of things that can really lead to success. A lot of people think that success is all about knowing the right strategy, having the right software, understanding the right tools. And in reality, most of it comes down to our mindset. So, successmindhack.com. Along those lines, I want to talk about the enemies to our dreams, just kind of using that as a setup. There are a lot of things that can kill our dreams. Now, chances are likely that every one of you have dreams, things that you aspire to, or maybe you work with vision boards, or you have something that you're really passionate about that you're working toward. And I believe everyone should have those. But by the same token, what I've discovered over the last several years is that there are some things that can really get in the way of us achieving our dreams. One is having a lack of proper tools. There is a cost for doing business. And to me, having the right tools not only saves you time and effort, yes, they cost money, but they save you a lot of time and effort and really set you up for success in ways that many free tools just can't compare with. Also, a lack of skills. Now, the cool thing about lack of skills is that skills can be learned. And one of the things that I found is that people sometimes lack in those skills just because they don't really apply themselves. Or they think, oh, can't teach an old dog new tricks, or I can't learn this or that. And the only one really preventing you from learning that is you. And so I see that as an enemy to our dreams. I mean, listen, I'm working on some things right now that I have basic knowledge about and that I've done the basics for before. But in some respects, I told Kristen last night, I kind of feel like a kindergartner learning this, and there's people that are young enough to be my children and in some cases grandchildren that are doing this, and I'm getting started. But does that mean that I should just give up and stick with what I have? No, it's something that I really want to do. Every spare moment of time that I have, I start off my morning, I end my night, times during the day, I'm learning and researching and all of those kinds of things to have the right skills, to develop the skills that I need for this new venture. Laziness is a big one. And we see a lot of that people are just, and admittedly so, they're just unwilling to do what it takes. You can't be lazy and accomplish your dreams. Those two just don't go hand in hand. Procrastination is another one, which really isn't laziness, but whenever we step into procrastination mode, and we all do it, I mean, I certainly do it, the big question is why? Why are we really putting it off? What's going on there? Is it something that we're afraid of? Is there fear that's motivating the procrastination? Is it laziness? Is it that it's going to make us feel uncomfortable? Is it something even more like not wanting to get our hopes up? Well, it probably won't work anyway, so why even go there? So procrastination is a huge enemy to our dreams. Poor time management is another one. Lots of people are guilty of this. And we're going to talk more about this as we go along. We each get the same number of hours per week, 168. And it's what you do with those hours that really makes the difference. There's a lot of folks that I've talked to who really have a deep desire to start their own business, whether it's selling information products or print-on-demand products or something completely different. Maybe they're an artisan or a maker of some sort, and they just don't feel like they have the time in the day to do what it takes to build this business. And I've shared many times before, for me personally, whenever I first started getting into information products and information marketing, I was running a full-time business of design. I was working with a number of publishing companies, and I had very little time. I mean, I had 2 young girls that we were homeschooling. We had a nonprofit organization that we were running. I was publishing, in addition to running a design company, I was also publishing a dozen authors. So building a brand new business, I didn't have any more time because I actually wanted to spend time with my family. And so what I would do is wait until everyone went to bed. I would spend time with my girls and my wife at the time, Deborah. And once they went to bed around 10, 11 o'clock, that's when I started working on my online business. And then I would get up earlier than everyone else because I'm an early riser, always have been. I would usually work on it from maybe 6 until 8 or something like that. And that's how I got started, in the middle of the night. That's how I built my online business. And it wasn't an overnight success, as you could say. This is my 15th year in business doing that business. And it certainly wasn't an overnight success. And I have the lack of income to prove it from back then. But I still kept at it. I had to learn time management, and that's something that I sucked at. Just kind of keeping all the plates spinning. I just really wasn't very good at it. Indecisiveness is another big one. Many people are paralyzed when it comes to making decisions because they don't want to make the wrong one. But not making a decision is the wrong one. That's what they don't realize. If you make a decision and it ends up being wrong, then recognize that, learn from it, make a different one. Sometimes those wrong decisions will cost you, and that's part of the process. But indecisiveness isn't going to get you anywhere. It's just like procrastination or laziness, might as well be the same thing. Fear is another big one. People are afraid to fail. People are afraid to succeed. They're afraid of what other people will think. There's any number of reasons why people will step into fear. I've been familiar with all of those. I didn't realize it for quite a number of years, but I actually had a huge fear of success, which you wouldn't think. Why on earth would I be afraid of success? Because I didn't understand all the rules and laws regarding taxes and employees and all that kind of stuff. And the idea of it just scared the daylights out of me. If I kept my income at a certain level, it was manageable and I wouldn't have to worry about all that other stuff. Also, one of the reasons why I worked as a sole prop for so many years instead of actually incorporating and, starting an LLC and all of that kind of stuff. It was because of fear. That and laziness. Combination of the two. But, I didn't know what it meant to have employees, and the idea of making sure they had their withholding tax taken out and all that kind of stuff and all the obligations that are associated with employees. It just scared the daylights out of me. It never occurred to me that there were like payroll companies, which is what we use now. I mean, we have a payroll company that handles all of it, tax attorneys that handle the taxes and, all that kind of stuff. So I don't have to worry about that stuff now. And I was able to grow past that, but it was a very real thing. Lack of confidence is another one. And very often, lack of confidence points to much more deep-seated issues like self-worth and some of those kinds of issues. But I choose to believe that if we're inspired to do something, then we have whatever we need within us to do it. It's just that we need to believe that we can. We're going to spend a lot more time talking about distraction because it's real. Like the struggle is real. Most, if not all of us, had to deal with or continue to deal with shiny object syndrome, where we want to do it all. We want to do everything. And so as a result, things distract us, or we give time and attention to stuff that we shouldn't. Like I love keeping up to date with the news and what's going on in the world and all that kind of stuff. But there are times when I just can't read it. I just can't look because it will take me down a rabbit hole because I'm a researcher. It's like, oh my God, that sounds really curious. Let's see what I can find about that. And the next thing you know, an hour is gone. And I'm not focused on what I need to be focused on. Or like I said earlier, we want to do all the things. And we just can't if we really want to achieve our dreams. And then there's overwhelm, which really is tied to distraction. Overwhelm is tied to a lot of the things because we get so focused on all the stuff, the big picture, that it paralyzes us. And it makes it extremely challenging to take a step forward. So we start second guessing everything. We don't know how we can do it, when in reality, if you focus on one thing and that's it, and then the next thing and that's it, and then the next thing and that's it, it makes a big, big difference. But there's also another enemy that'll stop our dreams as well. And it may not be one that you've considered before. I'm going to tell you what that enemy is in just a moment, because I noticed we had a couple comments come in. Mark says, I was looking at your YouTube page before the Expert Media Show started, and the video on the page auto started. Then I joined the webinar already in progress. And when I stuck the earbud in my ear, I had dueling Tonys. That's scary, dude. I've been on nearly all the weekly cast. I too overfill my dance card on a daily basis. Yeah, I think we all do that. I mean, it's one of those things. And Julia says, time management challenge, taking back the art festival to partner with different person is an interesting wrinkle in what I've been trying to focus upon for online business. But working with someone who actually cares for the job should make it easier and will free time as she takes on pieces of it. Distraction or a positive way to have less stress. Right. I'm a big fan of partners if it's the right partner, for sure. And Mark says, I've fallen prey to all the dream killers. Yeah, me too. I mean, where do you think I got this list from? Me personally, I've done them all. If you haven't done already, I'd appreciate subscribing to my channel. You can just go there and click on the subscribe button. It's where all the replays are, well, where they are.